This is the first episode of a new series known as Ska History Hour, and we are proud to present and announce MealTicket as our first band. MealTicket was a ska punk band with elements of hardcore and some funk vibes in their early years. They were from San Fernando Valley area in California, formed around 1991 and disbanded around 1997, releasing 2 full-length albums, an EP, a demo tape, and an anthology album out of Japan, which I don't even have either. Guys, if you want to introduce, ladies, if you want to go ahead and introduce yourselves, we could start with Janai and then go around.
Ooh, you made that sound so French.
I was going to say, I've never heard your voice.
I'm Janai, lead singer extraordinaire. Oh, wait, is that it? Am I supposed to say something else?
No, that's it. So just your position in the band.
Yeah.
And then we'll go on.
I did all the dancing.
I'm Richard. I played the trombone.
I'm David. I played bass.
Go, Jim.
I'm Jim. I played saxophone.
I'm Bill. I played guitar for a bit.
For a long time.
I'm Ricky. I played guitar for a bit.
We also have on with us. Oh, sorry, guys. We also have on with us Jose Rojas, who is one of the members of this Ska History Hour. I'm Daryl Rubio. Unfortunately, your band member Dennis, the drummer, was unable to attend tonight, but we just wanted to give him a shout out. All right,
Dennis Leipert.
Yeah,
Hey, Dennis.
All right, so we're going to first start out with my first question, then we'll go over to Jose. So whoever wants to answer, can answer. If you all want to answer, you take your turns. That's perfect. So the first album, we'll go with Misconceptions, had a couple different band members and instruments from 94 until the lineup was really solidified in 95. The trumpet was out in the band. Jim joined in on sax. The change up from drums was to Dennis. Can you guys expand on the lineup and the instrument change in the early years? How did that all happen?
I think what I wanted to, say here was that with MealTicket, it really kind of grew out of a music program at our high school, at Van Nuys High School. Bill was there, I was there, my brother was there, and Derek was there, and Chris was also there. So we were all just like hanging out and jamming on weekends and playing, and that's really the genesis of the band.
Yeah, I mean, like literally, and I know there's a further question that kind of touches on this, but I learned how to play upbeat skank guitar from Dave in a hotel room in Orlando on a band trip. We had some, we had some No Doubt, like live No Doubt tape from back in the day from like Northridge, Cal State Northridge or something. And, here I was trying to wrap my head around, going from playing big band swing guitar to ska, which is literally 180 degrees different. So it goes back to that. I mean, we were, to Richard's point, we were just goofing off and we had no clue.
Yeah, we were all very curious musicians at the time, and so the whole ska and punk scene was coalescing around that time, and so all of us having been jazz players, we just kind of naturally transitioned to that, and the band actually went through a couple of iterations even before we eventually found Janai to join up with us. And yeah, Derek and Chris were a big part of that because they were involved in that program and were really phenomenal players. And we were all just kind of kids trying stuff out, and we just ended up recording a record together after we were able to find Jedi, and it was it was a fun thing to do as kids, right? I think for Derek and Chris, they eventually left the band wanting to do other things, right? And it was it's something that happens to a lot of bands, right? For instance, I wasn't even the original bass player. We had a different bass player at the time. I was playing keyboard and guitar. We had another saxophone player at one point who was also doubling as a singer. We had another singer who did a couple performances with us, and Winnie Lee, she performed with us over at UCLA. We had another keyboardist at one point, right? But really the whole band coalesced around, being able to find a singer who was really just phenomenal and was able to bridge all the different musical voicings that a lot of us had, and that was Jedi, right? But again, because we had so many people with so many different interests who loved music, right? That eventually ended up with Derek and Chris leaving, and then we ended up having to find a new horn player, and we were able to find Jim, which was great. And then actually in the interim, before we even had Dennis, Carlos de la Garza from Suburban Rhythm was actually our drummer for, God, it was probably at least a year.
Yeah, about a year or so. He did a lot of really big gigs with us too.
Yeah, he did. And Carlos was really, really helpful during that time period because he really helped us also just kind of hone in terms of our ability to play together.
I remember seeing them when I was in high school, and Derek was the trumpet player. I remember going up to him and going like, "You guys are like the best band here," and he was so nice. He was like, "Oh, don't say that." And I was like, "Well, I mean, like, we're only here for you." It was a place in Orange County called Cafe Nove, but they used to call it Cafe No Pay.
Yep.
And I remember me and my girlfriend at the time, we used to go see you guys all the time over there. And then we would just get like so jazzed up. We're like, "Oh my God, MealTicket's going to play. Let's get in here." So that was like so exciting for me. And yeah, we loved going over there. It was like it was the weirdest spot in Orange County that you had to like really look for. And because it was like on Orangethorpe, I think.
In a strip.
Yeah. And so we used to go see you guys play. We're like, "Oh my gosh, these guys are going to go on." We're like, "Yes." And then yeah, you guys had the lineup change, and we still like went to go see you guys. And yeah, like I was like a fan before I was even like considered like to play anything. So that was cool.
Thanks for being a fan.
So so you guys saying you guys were in a high school band? Were all of you guys in a high school band, or?
I mean, I wasn't. I met them just fate, I suppose. My friend Yossi had heard that you guys were looking. I don't know if it was from Chris or maybe at Valley College or something like that.
We had flyers up at Valley College.
Okay, that's what it was. And so I don't even know who I contacted. I don't know if it contacted Bill or David, but I basically contacted and I auditioned for that. I think they may have sent me the music to write lyrics for. I don't. My memory is horrific, but I remember our practice space was it on Tohunga or where did we used to practice all the time? Kawanga. Yeah. Oh my God.
Awesome audio, man. Awesome audio.
Awesome. That's right. Awesome audio.
So I don't really remember like all the details, but I did find them through I guess through Yossi, through Valley College, and contacted one of them, and they liked me. I was 18 at the time. I was just out of high school, so and I didn't even know where it would lead. Honestly, just did it kind of on a whim, and I sang, and I'm like, sure, let's do this. So. I can still.
Well, we were 18 and right out of high school too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I was only a year younger than them. Yeah. I was only 1 year younger than them. And then and it's also because your lead singer, the one that you were in jazz band with. He had just left, right? Is that what happened?
No, because Alfie had left a while before, and
Oh, okay. So it was the female singer you
then we
had?
had Winnie for a cup of coffee, and then nothing.
Yeah, okay. I remember you gave me the music. I wrote like you gave me the music for Brass Man, and I think that's the song that I sang. God, I'm just pulling this out of my ass. I can't even believe I could
I would have
remember
believed
that.
you if you hadn't said that.
I could swear it was Brass Man now.
Yeah, but yeah.
It's a
And
good song.
so it goes. I don't know. They liked me enough, clearly.
Oh, so
Or maybe they were desperate. Maybe there were no other leads. You know what I mean? At the time.
Mike Doherty from Papa Roach and Longfellow wanted me to tell you guys that he misses your sound, and he says you're amazing.
Oh, that's sweet.
Mike
I
Doherty
miss
from Papa
Mike.
Roach. He's my best friend. I talk to him every day, so he wanted me to tell you hi.
Oh.
Tell him we said hello, man. I haven't heard his name in years.
I think.
Oh
I
yeah, no, I
Honestly.
talk to him every single night. He's my best friend.
Yeah, I love Mike. He's great. He's great. I tell him we all said hi.
Yeah, I'm gonna punch him in the face. I'm just kidding.
I mean, Jim, how did we find you? I remember your audition, but I don't remember how you got. Because I remember we were in my bedroom at my dad's house, so I think it was just you, me, and Richard, and we were playing something. I remember you were just so fucking good, and I remember like Side Eye and Richard, like, holy shit, what's going on here, man? But I got life of
I
me.
was
how
a
we
fan
found
too.
you.
I think I went and saw you guys play or I met you at, was it Old World in Huntington Beach?
No, I think you were in we definitely hung out at Cafe Nove of all places. Cause I remember you were there with your sister. I think I want to say it was Hepcat and Tantra Monsters. And I remember
yes.
I think that's the first place I actually met you. But
Yeah. Like Jedi, my memory is shot.
if only I could use my memory for something that would actually, benefit my life instead of remembering things from my early 20s.
Benefit society.
Between the memory loss and the tinnitus, it's gonna be
Try going through hormone changes, you guys. It's great.
God.
It's so sexy, let me tell you. We'll talk after the podcast. I'll let you know.
So,
But you're so
let me-
classy about it, though.
Woo! Oh, the hot sweats. Oh God.
So,
I might get one. I might get one during this podcast and just start taking my clothes off.
Here, have some Powerade then.
It's just an excuse to get naked for the podcast. I'm like, oh, these hot sweats. Woo.
So, what are you guys all up to in life, each one of you?
Ladies,
Well, I own a. Well, after I left the band, I kind of. I mean, I don't even. That's like too much information. I've basically been doing hair for the last 20 years. I opened a salon in Studio City with a partner. And I actually opened a record store with my partner, my boyfriend, Jeff. It's in Pasadena. It's called Commune, but he curates the whole thing. We've been open for 2 years in a nutshell. But I've also developed allergies from chemicals. So that's been 2 years of trying to navigate that, even though I love doing hair and it was a great 20 years, let me tell you. Working every day with women and gay men and in a, non-corporate environment, like pretty amazing. I've made some great friends in the past 20 years. Like I wouldn't trade it for anything, but now I'm kind of trying to pivot, for health reasons for my developed asthma. So, but I still own the salon. I'm still doing hair and being creative, but I'm just, now at 50, just trying to figure out, what direction to go in. But yeah, that's where I'm at now.
that's awesome.
Yeah, kind of.
No, not the allergies.
No,
but,
not the lung part, but
yeah, but I've been following you like on Facebook, so I like know that you have, because I was barbering for a little bit.
Yeah, I know we talked about that. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, like the stuff that you've done, I've seen like the pictures that you post, and you're like insane. Like,
honestly, it's a great career. I don't know. I know people don't probably respect it very much, but it's such a great creative career that, you work for yourself and there's no ceiling. I mean, I was making more than people with master's degrees, it was a good run, let me tell you.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, getting to meet people, I've met so many interesting people, especially in the area that I worked in, writers, so many creatives. I've built amazing relationships, even with clients. It's been really rewarding and honestly I'm definitely gonna miss it. It's not something that I'm doing willingly, like leaving it, but at the same time, even I don't know if I'd even have trade. I would trade it because I just have had a great 20 years. Anyway,
Yeah, I mean,
enough about
just
me. But
no, I mean, well, I mean, just like meal ticket. Like, people asked me all the time about like our tours and how many times the van broke down and stuff like that, and like how many times it caught on fire and stuff like that. They're like, would you like do it over? I'm like, heck no.
oh,
Like, why would we redo that? I mean, I would never. I mean, those memories are like the best memories of my life. I mean, I'm building more, but yeah, like all those like fun times, like yeah, like we got through it, and like we went and played like wiffle ball for like a whole day while our van was getting like fixed. And like, would I redo that? No. Heck
wait, was
no.
that with Muse? I wonder in like Montana or something like that. Where was?
No, that we were.
Yeah, that would. I
Go
think
ahead.
that was Illinois, Rockport, Illinois. I think.
Where was? What was the time that we got in the truck and ran with a bunch of like
Oh, that was when that was, I think, Wyoming, and
yeah,
then
Wyoming.
like
Okay,
we
That
went
was
in with you
close enough.
that was
because
the last stand of the fart ass.
yeah, and then we left it there, but we went in with you because they kept on going like, come in and meet grandma, and then like
So
they kept
scary.
on asking
It
you
was,
to do it, and we're like, no, we're not letting her go in there alone.
it was like
You know?
I mean, yeah, we got picked up by like a bunch of rednecks. They turned out to be really nice, you know.
Yeah, they were cool. And then we almost like there was a semi truck that was in front. We were all like in like slabs in the back, and then there was like a big rig truck that like kind of like T-boned or whatever you call it, like right in front of us, and we almost hit that, and then we were on our way to I think Las Vegas.
Salt Lake.
God, when I
Salt Lake.
tell
Is
my
that true?
Sorry, we got off to.
Salt Lake City, yeah. We were late to the gig. We thought we were gonna no, we had missed a gig already, and we were trying to get to the next gig in Salt Lake City. So these guys with their F-150, this we all crammed into the back of an F-150, put the trailer onto the F-150, and then got to Salt Lake City probably at 11 o'clock. Missed the gig.
Yeah. I remember.
Needless to say, when you are a DIY band, there are plenty of opportunities for danger.
Yeah.
Sorry, we
Do you
went
remember
off
the?
on a- we went off on a
Do you remember the
tangent.
blizzard? Do you remember the blizzard that we were in? That we had to like pull off the side, and Jim was up with like a flashlight because we had no power in the van, and Jim was up like signaling because the semis were like missing us by like 6 inches.
It was scary.
Yeah, but you pulled it off, bro.
Oh,
Yeah,
where
Pulled
did
it off.
Oh,
Richard?
Richard turned off his camera. But anyway, we're talking about what we're doing. Bill?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, what are you
Bill?
doing? Yeah, let's segue there.
Yeah, Bill.
Oh, I'm doing the same thing I was doing even back then. I've been at Universal since I graduated high school, working on movies. And nothing's changed much. Just
Nice.
I don't know, just never stopped doing it, and somehow they haven't figured out that I'm an imposter and can my ass.
No
And
way.
Ah,
No way.
What are you doing at Universal?
I do post-production sound for feature films.
Oh,
It's kind of like the equivalent in music of like a second engineer. I'm not mixing, but I'm the one that keeps the room actually functional. So
That's
yeah,
rad.
I work on the biggest stage. The biggest stage. That's the only thing I can say. I guess I kind of know what I'm doing.
Yeah,
But yeah,
you do. He's being
we only-
modest. Come on,
we
Bill.
Yeah, don't be so
only-
humble.
You're
Come on,
a
Bill, you've
badass.
got the longest IMDb credit of all of us. So
right.
Yeah, but a lot of it's shit, man. It's like when
It's
you're
longer than his
claim
beard.
yeah, your claim to fame is you worked on every Fast and the Furious movie. It's not exactly the flex that it feels like, you know.
Hey, you're working. You know, the industry's taking a hit, man. The last
Oh
2 years.
no, my
pretty
time's
bad.
coming. My time's coming this year.
No.
No, it is. I'm gonna have a lot of free. But I was telling Daryl before you guys got in, I am okay with it. I haven't had a slow year since 2010,
It sounds
So-
like it.
so I'm okay with it. Yeah.
Early retirement, Bill? No.
Uh, Yes, but still got to go 8 more years.
Okay.
But yeah, I've been doing pretty much that in some way, shape, or form since, like I said, since out of high school, and definitely while we were still playing. I was working there and working on movies even when we were playing. Because I, like the night I destroyed my knee at the San Bernardino arena at that stupid skank.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I forgot
God.
about that. Oh,
Yeah.
Bill.
No, I
I
remember
remember
that.
when Bill would buy like SG guitars, like
I've got one right. It's still sitting right there. I'm
be
looking.
like, oh,
right
there's a
at it.
new one here. Guitars were more affordable then, but still.
Jesus Christ! It's this. It's the same one I've always had. You know.
Oh, right.
Nice.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That
Awesome.
shit's 30 years old, man.
Damn.
But
Here, put
Worth
that
a
camera
fortune.
back on that. I want to do that.
yeah, nothing much has changed there. But yeah, that night, that's the night I destroyed my knee and had to go to work. I was in the ER until like 6 o'clock in the morning and went from there to work with a full leg brace on.
What we do. The sacrifices we made. The
Oh.
sacrifices Bill made for the band.
Fucking.
That's the second show I played with you guys
Yeah.
at San
Was it?
Bernardino.
You were God, you have a good you remember that?
Yeah, it was because I got lost and I didn't know where I drove there, and then Alex Desert from Hepcat and Craig, well, rest in peace. They were out there smoking. I didn't know where to go, and they're like, "What are you doing?" Because I was this like kid, and they're like, "What are you doing back here?" I go, "I'm playing a show with MealTicket." They're like, "Oh, okay, come over here." And like they showed me actually where to go for that show. Like they were so nice. And so I actually became friends with Alex, who became an actor. He was on Baxter. Well, I mean, he was on the movie Swingers.
Isn't it?
And then, yeah. And so I became friends with him because he used to come into Amoeba Records when I worked there, and he used to always. He called me like a nickname for some reason, but that was like kind of funny. He always remembered me because of like some of my tattoos that I had back then. I didn't have this many, but yeah.
Good
So
time.
who's next? Jim, what are you doing?
Oh, hey.
Don't get too excited. Jim.
Oh, me.
The
No,
enthusiasm.
Hold on, I just posted a picture of me and you on Facebook. You saw that, right?
But like Bill, I've been in the industry. I've been with Walt Disney Company for like 15 years, doing distribution stuff. We get shows ready for overseas markets. It's kind of a boring thing, but that's what I do.
That's not boring.
And you have a son that is playing baseball.
Yeah,
He produced.
Amazing baseball.
He's playing. He's a pitcher, a lefty at USC, a freshman. So I'm excited for the upcoming season. See what.
Wait. He's already in college.
Yeah, it's freshman
Yeah.
year.
And Bill, you have two sons.
Like
Yeah.
I have
How old
two
are they
men.
now?
Yeah, they're men, man. They're almost one's 25 in a few more weeks, and the other one's 16. So
Oh, 16. Okay, yeah, I knew you had a youngin. He's still in high school. Okay.
yes, going to where I went to junior high, which is so weird.
Really? Cool.
Yeah, Bolton Junior High on Kester Boulevard.
Oh, I lived on Kester years ago. Anyway, nobody cares.
Pass the mic on to the brothers.
Hey, Bill has a high school kid. I teach high school. So
Yeah.
there you go.
There's a connection. Nice segue.
Yeah.
Taft.
Taft. Yeah, Taft High School.
You're still at Taft, huh?
I'm
many
still
years
a Tafter.
And he has to worry about school shootings.
And school shootings. And, yeah.
Rich,
that's
how many
a-
years now?
Are you carrying, Richard? Are you?
Not yet.
That's not even funny. I don't know why I'm laughing. That's terrifying.
That's not that funny.
Stop.
Richard, how many years
Yeah.
have you been there now? 20 something?
I started at Taft in 2002.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
remember when you started there. Didn't you start like Didn't you both start substituting first?
Yeah. I started, kind of when we were doing all the meal ticket stuff, I was substituting for sure.
Right.
Which was a great gig and a good way to lose sleep because like you would or we'd play a gig in like Corona or something, and then I'd be up at 6 o'clock in the morning the next day substituting for, I don't know, third grade over in Pacoima.
I remember Richard's stories of just being harassed by middle school, junior high kids, just like nightmarish stories. Oof.
I learned quick that if you're going to be substituting, that you should be in elementary school.
Yeah.
You got the height advantage.
Totally.
And Dave, you're still practicing law, right?
Yeah. The whole time I was in MealTicket and then Pushover, I was in school, and then I was in law school at the same time, and then I ended up starting out my law career being an in-house attorney at Epitaph Records, of all things. And I was there for a few years. And then after that, the man who hired me over there started a music department at another law firm that did mostly actors and actresses in Santa Monica. And then I went over there. And then that was 7 years. And then after that, we left that because that law firm kind of imploded and he wanted to start up his own place. And he took me along with him. And it was just the two of us. And then there were 3 of us. And then there were 5 of us. And now there's, I think, 18 of us. And we have a New York office, an LA office. And we just took on a guy in Nashville to start doing a Nashville office. And it's all music law. So I represent recording artists and songwriters and producers and mixers and record companies and all of that. And so it's been a really interesting way of kind of my 2 different personalities coming together to form an actual career. So, and
That's awesome.
I've been doing it
That's
for
so badass. That's so badass. I used to drive over there in Silver Lake just because I wanted to, because at the time he was alive, Joe from The Clash. I have him tattooed. I have a quote tattooed on my chest from Joe Strummer. And during the time he was with Joe Strummer and the Mescaleras.
Yeah, he was signed to Hellcat at the time. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I didn't have this yet, but I mean, like, he's like a huge, like, I just wanted to go over and meet him. But every time I went over there, I missed him by like 2 seconds. Like, I'm like, no. But I was like, hey, Dave.
Maybe I just met it. Maybe it's better not to meet your idols. It wasn't meant to be.
Yeah, well, he's still with me right there.
Cool.
I know I look like I'm in jail, but it's okay.
Ricky, what have you been up to?
Getting tattooed, clearly.
I just got done. I'm not moving to Texas because SpaceX is moving to Texas. So I was, I worked for SpaceX and I was doing inventory control specialist for the Falcon 9 rocket crew. And now I'm at Northrop Grumman.
That is wild.
So I'm in aerospace.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's awesome, guys.
I don't know what more to say.
Show us more tattoos.
I work. Huh?
Show us more of your tattoos.
There you go.
But Ricky, you still play guitar though. You're still playing in some bands, cover bands, right?
Yeah, I still do that. And then I was playing with, I got hired by Monty Pittman, who is Madonna's guitar player. And he asked me to play bass for his Madonna tribute band.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so I was actually playing bass for that. And then Monty Pittman from Madonna actually comes on stage with us and like plays and stuff like that. So like we did shows, like we sold out like the huge House of Blues shows. I mean, just like hundreds of people. I mean, like thousands actually. And so that, and yeah, no, but I was focusing more on like my aerospace career. And it turns out I'm actually not really stupid.
I don't think anybody thought you were.
Now, when you guys were out in Orange County, did you guys ever play in the Showcase Theater, or do you guys remember like
all the time?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I had the impression of that guy. That guy, he would always go like,
He's on.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, he'd be like, come in, this showcase theater.
Yeah, my last show ever with Meal Ticket was at the showcase. We opened for Avail of all bands.
Oh, a bitch.
Oh, Veil, I
Right.
love a Veil.
How did we open for that? Like, how did we open for
I, that makes no sense. It still makes no
makes
sense.
no sense.
Because it does, a lot of that stuff back then didn't really make sense, right? But I think it's also like part of that era, because in that era, like there was a lot of folks like would cross different musical scenes. Kids were so interested in lots of different kinds of music, so it wasn't uncommon to have a hardcore kid who was into ska and a ska kid who was hardcore, and so consequently, you know, you'd have shows where you'd have a mixed kind of bill, right? And that was probably the result of the result of those scenes always crossing over together, and also because there's only so many different kinds of bands and so many different kind of nights, it just felt like you could book those bands together.
Yeah, and we all, and the coolest thing is like most of us, we all like got along. Like it was like if it wasn't like you take a Guttermouth Voodoo Glow show in like Huntington Beach where like all the Neos showed up and like kind of caused a little ruckus, but all the other shows that we all played, like everybody like got along, and it was all about the music, and it was just all about the scene, and it was so cool, man.
I mean, it's ska music, it's like dorky and happy. You don't get a lot of aggro people at ska shows, it's like.
You guys play ever at the Coos Cafe in Santa Ana?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That was a good place.
That was that in like a strip mall kind of too?
That was a house.
It was like an industrial area.
It's like a
It was like a
house.
little
Yeah.
house.
Yeah, I know we
Is that
played
that
there,
one
but
that
I
was
don't-
right next to the 99 cent store? That's all I remember.
Yeah.
I know we played there. I can't even think of I'd have to see it.
That's the
Ooh,
first
we
time
played so many shows.
Yeah,
I saw
it's kinda
Jimmy Eat World play there once.
You saw who?
I love Jimmy Eat World.
Right.
Yeah, I was with you,
I
Jim.
forgot about
Oh,
Jimmy
yeah.
Eat World. I forgot about them.
You guys played with Jimmy Eat World when I booked Less Than Jake when they first came to LA.
Yeah, that's right.
Wow.
Yeah,
Did we play with?
wait,
did
did
we
we play up in the snow with where did we play that one
I
time?
think
In
we
the
played with them in
remember that?
Phoenix. I think
It was like
Played with them in Phoenix, I know that.
Or Tempe at
We did,
oh god
we
damn.
did the ESPN X Games, and we played with Longfellow, and I'm not sure who else, but every time they went to commercial, they had us play, and then I remember having to hold a cup of warm water because my fingers were numb. I couldn't even play, and then so like me and Rich went in like the cabin or whatever, and I ordered like a glass of like a hot tea or something like that, and I was just like holding it because I was using Dave's Gibson, and I couldn't even move my fingers, and then so like they got me like warm, but yeah, there, and then I think we played there with MXPX.
I think MXPX.
That's right.
Yeah,
It was.
that's I can't even go to a punk rock show because everybody goes, did Mike Herrera just walk in? I go, I'm not Mike Herrera. They've mistaken me for him since we started playing at the barn. Like there was a dude that got like
The barn. God,
yeah.
Yeah, one of,
I love
Daryl,
to
one of
play
his
too.
Daryl's one
Yeah.
of his questions like favorite venue, and I was going to say the barn. That place was just
Yeah.
Oh, the bar.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
people hanging from
It used to-
rafters.
This dude got so mad at me because he used to bring his family to like all of the meal ticket shows. He thought I was Mike Herrera in a side band, and he thought meal ticket was my side band. And he walked up to me and goes, "Dude, like that's so not cool." I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "We've met you a few times." I was like, "Yes." And he's like, "And you've like totally like been like," I was like, "Who do you think I am?" And because he was asking me for like autographs and stuff, and I thought he was asking me for autographs from Meal Ticket, but he thought I was Mike Herrera, and he's like, "You're such a liar." I'm like, "No, I'm not." I go, "I've never said I was Mike Herrera."
But
but
I
I
mean, let's
thought,
talk about living in the era of not having a smartphone, you know? Like
Oh, I know.
Oh,
God,
autographs.
so
Nobody
great.
asks for autographs anymore, you know? I can't believe, yeah.
Oh shit, we lost Daryl.
Oh,
No,
oh, it's
he walked away.
There,
he's right
there,
there. He's
there
there.
you are, Ricky.
huh? I just
Now,
need
how
my
did you
two.
guys decide on the name Meal
I just
Ticket?
need my two snake pits
Oh,
right
I
here.
cannot answer that question. That would definitely be.
That's all Chris Taylor.
Yeah, is that
Oh.
okay?
That was going to be the name of his skate team in high school. That's all I
Yeah,
remember.
Oh.
See, I didn't
There's-
even remember that.
There's like a rap group called Meal Ticket.
Oh, really?
There is
Well,
now, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
I've
was
seen that.
100% Chris Taylor.
That's funny.
So I got a question here. So you guys, as a national touring band, what was your favorite memory while you guys were on the road? Maybe like a show you guys played with a certain band or certain state?
Thought about this.
I mean, for me, it was all those Utah shows.
They always brought out a good crowd.
Exactly.
Talk about happy. Talk
It was
about
a-
happy
It was a
people.
great crowd. We made enough money so we could eat, because they bought all our crap. We always had a place to stay.
Yeah, we always stayed. Oh my gosh, who's fan?
Lou Eastman.
Yeah, Lou.
Yeah, we
Lou's
always stayed with
family.
Louisman's family.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. They had chickens, and they had like kind of like a little mini farm going in the back of their house.
What was his band's name again?
We should say, yeah, we should say it's
Commercial
that that's from
Oh,
Swim
yeah.
Herschel Swim.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah,
Lou from Swim Herschel Swim. Yeah.
yeah.
We had potato guns we'd fire in the backyard. It was good.
Oh, I remember that. I
Oh,
remember
wait.
that. That was at Lou's. Yeah.
I have fond memories of driving with my car had no air conditioning and driving to like through the desert to Phoenix and just like just sweating, our balls off. I don't have balls, but if I did, I would have sweat them off. Like all the things that you could endure when you were young that I could never tolerate now,
One of the funny thing, the memory that I have from that is you and Carlos walking out of the van and like going straight into the pool because it was so hot.
Wait, was it in the evening when we were at that hotel?
Yeah, I can't remember. I don't think it was in the evening. I actually think it was during the day, but it was.
I don't even remember
It was
that.
it was one of those really, really hot trips.
We did go to Phoenix quite a bit, I remember.
Yeah,
Didn't
we did.
Yeah. I mean, those were good shows. Those were fun. What venue did we play at?
Kind of don't remember that one. My memory is so shot.
Hey,
like yours.
Dave can tell you how he got held up at
God.
one point in Nolans.
Yeah.
I remember that. Wait. Was that when the guy was like?
He thought we
accusing
stole
him
a
of
mic or
stealing, like, a
something?
microphone.
Yeah, he thought we stole a microphone, and I decided to.
No,
You know.
Dave like manned up, dude. Like I've never seen this shit before, dude. Like I was like, I'm never like messing with this dude.
When you're in your 20s, you're a little bit hot-headed. So the guy was not being nice at all, and so I just kind of had a lot of words with him. Whereupon he decided to pull a 38 on me, which was really fun, and I distinctly remember daring him to shoot me.
Oh my God.
That was-
Over an SM58.
yeah, over an SM58 of all things.
I was flipping right there, and I saw Dave just like. I'm like, okay, like I'm so not gonna mess with this dude ever.
What about that house party we played where the sound something failed? Like I don't know if it was a sound system or mic. Remember that? It was like I think it was with Bill. It was there was a university close by, and it was like in the basement
That's
or
when
something.
when we opened up for the Skeletons, and then we played in like a football field, and then right after that we went to a house party.
And
Oh,
that's
that's right.
like,
That was
the
Riverside.
basement.
Riverside.
I have video of that somewhere because Chris Munch from the Killingtons was there, and he's sitting there on the ground. Yeah,
So many vague
I would remember
memories. Like
Bill's sweet white van driving to the Rockies.
yeah.
That was a great with
Right.
captain chairs and that folding back seat.
That was the most comfortable ride we ever had. Was Bill's van.
100%. It was brand new. State of the art, really.
for 1995. Yeah,
I mean, we weren't like a wild group of kids. I mean, I could speak for myself in saying that like I didn't really party much in the band. I can count the few. Oh, I was telling Jeff this earlier. One of my most favorite memories was when we went to play Berkeley Square, and then Dave had a friend that owned the Chinese restaurant. And he opened it in the middle of the night, and he made us Chinese food. Like he made us dinner, right? Am I making this?
No, you're not making it up. That's exactly what happened.
100%.
And then I got so shit faced, and I didn't drink that much in the band. Like, and I had years of drinking before the band. I was pretty serious because it was a job. You have to pack up at the end of the night. I never drank before we performed, but I got so shit faced, and then you guys sent me off on a small plane or something to get back home. I don't even know, but that was a fond memory. I loved going to Berkeley Square. I loved all our experiences up north. Those were good times too. And before San Francisco changed so much too, as well,
Yeah, for sure.
We played Berkeley Square quite a bit.
Is that the night with the bowl where we're vomiting in the bowl?
Yeah, that was my fault. Sorry.
We were in someone's apartment. We were so sick.
Yeah.
I was like, had probably vomited on myself, and Dave just sent me out. Like, okay, you gotta go. But honestly, we were maybe having a female too in a band changes the dynamic too. But we weren't like a bunch of we weren't like partiers. On occasion, yeah, maybe people drink a beer, but we weren't really wild kids, right?
No, we didn't go out and like do the town or anything like that. Yeah, so
no, we really kind of enjoyed playing. That's what we enjoyed doing.
I think we're pretty serious, to be honest.
Yeah.
I know. I wish we had some like salacious stories for you.
For me, my favorite part of touring really is just kind of the silliness and the absurdity of like what that whole experience was. I mean, you have to think about it. The 90s, nobody has any cell phones.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? There's no smartphones.
You have to talk to people.
Right. You have to talk to people. Right. You're paying for gas with cash.
Yeah.
Right? You're hoping to make enough money off of merchandise, right? And the show guaranteed to be able to make it to the next town, right? I mean, you think about it.
And then we had Amanda's dad to like threaten people if they didn't pay us.
Right. So,
it's like a different time, man. Like you can sell 5 T-shirts and get to the next town. So,
yeah. I mean, that's
I mean, it's grueling. It's grueling work. Number one, and number two, but it was also like really good memories because you had people, us as bandmates. We had to really rely upon each other, right? And we have these like funny experiences with each other, right? And just kind of experience the absurdity of wow, we're teenagers and early 20-somethings just getting on the road for the hell of it to play music. Right. I mean, just think about that. That's just so weird.
We slept anywhere. We'd sleep anywhere. We'd sleep in our cars. Sleep on the floors of hotel rooms. If we didn't have, this is so common. This is the way for every band. But even if we didn't have anywhere to sleep that night, I would just say on stage, "Hey, we have nowhere to stay tonight. Does anyone want to put us up?" And of course, plenty of young people would put us up, or their parents had homes or basements. It's just a great time. Like it's.
Do you remember the time that we played like near like a college or something, and then like we were all kind of like a little like dirty, and all these like frat boys like invited us over to their frat house, and they let us like shower there. They let us do our laundry. Does anybody remember that?
I remember getting locked in like someone's bathroom because the door handle came off from the front and I was locked on the
Well, I remember losing you in Denton, Texas.
Oh God.
Oh yeah, Dennis got really mad. I went off to find some equipment, I think, or something.
And Rich were like running around the town, like screaming your name out, like, "Where is Jenna?"
I got lectured so hard, yeah.
I was so worried about you though. Wait, that's like a pun because I didn't mean to say that. That's a song.
I mean, what a time to be young and tour. Like, I mean,
exactly.
A lot of people don't get that experience, and I mean, even being that age, you're so resilient. You're really down for anything, honestly. I mean, now it's like if I drive an hour, I'm like, am I going to spend the night in a hotel? Like, do I have to drive home?
And people that we played that we played shows with and played for. I mean, everybody was so willing to help people out. Right. Other bands helped other bands. Other bands helped other bands out, and people that we played for, like John said, would open up their homes to us because they knew that we were just a bunch of crazy kids in a van. So, that was such an interesting time.
What I do remember is like getting, every time we got stranded or something like that, when cops would come to our aid, and we had a diverse, group as
Yeah.
far as ethnicities go. And honestly, they were, I do have good memories of them actually being nice. Like, am I wrong? I look back at them like, God, we got lucky.
It's funny. I have this whole thing that I tell people that where I tell them that I learned a lot about people and a lot about kind of our country just by touring, just because of those types of experiences.
Well, how about being in St. George and I'm with Derek, who's black, and we're talking to a guy with literally swastika tattoos.
Right.
I mean, couldn't make this shit up. And the guy was being so friendly with us, and we're just like, you know. I mean, yeah, Utah's got some scary parts to it. I mean, no cell phones, you guys. You can't record anything.
I got another question. What was your favorite song to perform?
Oh,
Do
Bill?
you have one?
Bill?
I mean,
Bill hasn't even talked about his hardcore obsession.
Yeah.
I would say, I mean, for me, it'd probably be Neanderthal just because it got a reaction because of that stupid Misfits of Ska comp. It was like if we
that's true. The opening of it.
we'd go to BFE to play and like, okay, nobody knows who we are, nobody knows any of our songs, but then you whip that one out and everybody like loses their shit because they've heard it. So that was probably it for me, and that was a really good song.
It is a good song.
It was a lot of fun.
Didn't you write that song? Did you?
I think Richard and I did. I think
Probably. I think it was you and I. Yeah.
yeah.
Now, I was thinking about that, and I don't think there was a song that I didn't enjoy playing. It was always obviously better if, like Bill said, if there was a reaction, because we're kind of, it's a two-way street. We get off on the audience gets off on us. That sounds way weirder than I wanted it to.
It makes perfect sense, you fucking pervert.
Yeah. Don't tell the teaching commission I said that, please.
You're gonna put this up on your Facebook.
Yeah. For me, I always really enjoyed, playing, lots of the different songs, right? And yes, the reaction was always a thing. I think that more than anything was what we all really loved about playing was like this, this feedback loop of excitement between us playing, the crowd reacting, that coming back to us and wanting us to play, even better, right? Or have more fun with it. And, so that always made playing the best.
Feedback loop. That's what I should have said. Can you edit that in for me?
No.
I mean, thinking back to that period of time, because it feels like somebody else's life. I mean, it was only a 5-year stint, but even just having people know your lyrics and singing along with us, I mean, doesn't happen to you. I mean, not a lot of people can say that they've had that experience. And even I think, do we only play the Troubadour one time? Is that when we broke up or final?
That was Troubadour a couple times.
Oh, we did. Okay, but even playing at the Troubadour, I mean, that's the place is iconic. That's a great experience too.
That was when we got that stupid band. Sorry, I didn't mean to say that, but that band Nerf Herder.
I do remember.
They accused us of stealing a Motley Crue poster. And
that's right.
I do remember that.
We didn't do it.
That's when I first I had short hair, and that's when I first discovered what pomade was. It was all the rage back then. This is like a dumb story, but I remember I was dating a hairstylist. Remember Adam? And I kept putting pomade in my hair, and I just wouldn't stop putting pomade in my hair. And then anyway, it looked like I took a shower.
We had breakfast at his friend's, his family's house.
Wait, who?
Adam, the guy.
Adam, yeah. Oh wait, what did we do?
We were on tour, and then we stopped, and then
in Sacramento, because he was friends with that hardcore band, Willhaven.
Yeah, but we went to his family's house, and we stayed the night there. And
oh my God, I barely remember that. Yeah, I do kind of remember that.
His mother made us all breakfast, hash browns.
You have such a good memory.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's a great. Yeah, I forgot. I would have never even remembered that.
Yeah.
Gosh. I got some flyers to share with you guys, so you guys may remember some of this stuff. Perfect timing, Ricky.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I remember the middle one for sure.
This one.
Yeah, the fact that that they were putting on shows at a Denny's.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is why we
didn't know.
needed. This is why I need Amanda here to tell me like what I did and where I played.
I was
She has
gonna say,
some
I'm
impeccable memory.
Well, she cheats and calls me. She's like, "When was that?" And then
Oh my gosh. Really? Oh my gosh.
I don't know why I remember all this stuff.
No, Bill, you have an amazing memory. I
The,
know
the
that.
one in the middle is the greatest show that never fucking happened. The Chicago one. The
Yes.
That's right.
Oh my God. We
Yeah.
need to talk about that.
Yeah, because it was the middle of
Oh.
the heat wave in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
I
The
remember
greatest
that.
show
Remember
that
that we
never
played at
happened.
that record store and we were dying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
The next day we did the record.
They were
store.
having brownouts and blackouts. Oh, that was such a disappointing night that we didn't play there. We were really looking forward to that. I remember my aunt, you know, I have family in Chicago. My aunt shows up in a limo and I was so embarrassed. I mean, God bless her. And I got in to say hi and then I got out and people were like, oh my God, Jen, came in a limo. They all thought I came in a limo. I was so humiliated.
But instead we just
That
flew
was
in for
not
one
cool
show.
back then. Anyway, yeah, that was a missed
Yeah, we just we did. We flew in for the one show. That was crazy.
Yeah, but didn't we also play at a bowling alley there too?
We played the
Was that
next.
another time?
We played an afternoon show with Less Than Jake at a record store.
Okay,
That's
I
right.
remember. We have photos of that too. When we're laying on the ground sweating.
And we didn't play Fireside Lounge that time.
No, though we played Fireside when we went out with Slapstick and MU330 the next year.
Oh, thank God
That's
for
right.
that.
That's right.
Thank God for that brain, Bill.
We played Fireside when like the ceiling was like kind of like falling on us. Do you remember that?
I remember that.
That was like a
Yeah.
low ceiling. Like the stage was so high that
like-
you're practically hitting the ceiling.
Yeah. And then
I remember
think, like,
staying at Richard and Dave's aunt and uncle's house. That mansion.
Oh yeah, in Chicago.
That was gorgeous.
Yeah, because you guys went to a Cubs game that day, and Amanda and I stayed back and like cleaned ourselves because we were disgusting by then.
Chicago White Sox. Yeah.
You're like, can't believe you didn't go to the ball game.
And of course we can't. I think Richard may have mentioned earlier, but remember when we had to strip the van because it smelled like a rotting animal.
Yeah.
Why? What was that? What?
Oh, that was
You
like
couldn't even like breathe in there. Like it was so like it was nauseating. Honestly, it was.
I put that down as like what the crazy tour story is. Like
Yeah. How did that
Yeah.
happen? Like what?
the carpet was rotting.
That's
and
it was molding and rotting.
we had to get from Cleveland to New York. And so after the show in Cleveland, we ripped all the carpet out of the van and we went to some big like Walmart type store in Toledo, Ohio.
Yeah, I washed my hair in the bathroom sink. I do remember that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I always bathed in. We didn't get a shower for a week that tour. I was with a bunch of smelly boys, and I was so used to washing, my hair and my body in like it was a 24-hour Target in Toledo. That was the norm. But see now, if we kept Bill, we would have had his van, and that would have never happened.
Would have never happened.
It was
Shower.
karma.
Wow.
It was karma.
And so, yeah, and the next day we were in Pennsylvania passing like horse and buggies and things. Do you remember this?
Here's your saying.
It's like another person's life. I swear. to
Yeah.
God.
That's how I feel sometimes.
So what
Yeah,
were
it feels that way for me too.
Yeah, youth is wasted on the young. It's like I don't even think at the time I even appreciated it as much as I probably could have. You know what I mean? But that's just the way.
I mean, of course we appreciate. I mean, we did all this stuff. I mean, like there are so many people that like just go through life but we have so many stories, and like this podcast can go on for like fucking so.
Dude, I've said fuck like 9 times. Don't worry.
It's just going to be on YouTube.
Like a million hours. Like there's so many things. Like when we broke down in the van, and all we had was like our body, and we were like drinking, and like so many times like
If you say Dutch oven, I swear to God.
No, I'm not going to say that. We didn't do that.
So, what were some of your favorite bands, like ska type bands or whatever, from the era that you guys played in Meal Ticket? Bands you played with, toured with?
I mean,
Ladies first, or whatever. Anyway, Bill first.
I was gonna say, like, like for me, it's always like Less Than Jake, Slapstick, MU330. It's like we played. It was on one of your flyers. I think was the Less Than Jake show, and then Roger came back to my house and we watched Star Wars movies until some god awful hour, and went and watched a fucking. It was one of the. Was it Sudden Death the next day? You were there, Richard.
Sudden Death, yeah. Jean-Claude Van Damme.
We took Roger Lima and LTJ's roadie with us and did that. It's like.
Yeah.
Like I said, like Dave was talking about, it's like these memories that you just like the wildest stuff. These bands and like Les and Jake's a great example. They're still playing, and they're still great.
Absolutely.
Like Jim and I went and saw them not too long ago. I saw them play at the the last No Effects show.
Good for them.
And they're still
you're right. They're still around. And
they're amazing. Some of their new songs, they're not as great as the old ones, but the fact that they're still cranking out great music that's awesome. And we got to play with these guys. They were our friends.
Yeah, and if they're still also I'm assuming they have other jobs, but if they're still making some sort of a living doing it, that's really cool too.
Yeah. But so for me, like
my favorite band to listen to is the Boss Tones.
Oh, I know that Jim was going to say this.
And the favorite band to play with for me was Skank and Pickle. Those guys were great.
And they're just really full energy and really nice. Although I have to say the Aquabats are really sweet guys. I feel like we always had. I mean, they drew such a massive crowd, and opening for them, we just had this instant we've played for thousands of people. I think because we played with them. Am I wrong? Like
Travis Barker,
pardon me?
At Aquabats show.
You got what?
Because the Aquabats asked a couple of us to dress as ants at a show, Northern. Yeah, and so we did, and so we dressed as their ants because they didn't have enough money to take their entire crew out. And this 15-year-old kid turns around and smacks me over the face because they asked us to walk in the crowd, and we did. And this kid was in the mosh pit. He turned around and he cracked me right in the face. And I was already like 21 at the time or something like that. And what can I do? And
that sounds so violent for an Aquabats show, doesn't it? They were like nice Mormons. And I can't even say listen to me. Huh? Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. We see him all the time. He was really sweet.
First saw Travis Barker, and that's when he first started running for him. But I mean, we couldn't see him because he had that the mask on. And but yeah, no, that was the same show. And so he cracked me right over the face, and I'm like, I can't do anything about this, and I'm not going to.
Did it remind you of the time that you threw your guitar in the air and it knocked out your tooth?
Oh, in New York?
Yeah, in New York. I remember that.
Well, Dave came. Look at my tooth now, though.
Looks good. Looks good.
It's nice.
Getting back to the bands we listened to. I can't say listen to too much ska, but I want to know what Richard was listening to because I did share a lot of music, my taste with Richard and Jim too. I think because we would go to shows together that weren't ska shows, and of course there's always hardcore shows where Bill. But I want to know what Richard because I know when I first joined the band, they were really into Mary's Danish, and I don't know. I have to looking back. I didn't really listen to a lot of ska. I didn't grow up listening to a ton of ska. I found ska of course I knew the Specials, Madness, Selector. I've seen the Selector play. The first ska show the first show I went to when I was 14, when I finally got to go to a show with my brothers, was the Pixies. So I was into a lot of different types of music, but so were they, and of course 80s, new wave, all that stuff. But I can't say listen to a lot of bands that we played with because I was listening to other stuff then. I really wasn't listening to ska.
I think when I think about the time, I look at especially Skank and Pickle and what Mike Park did, and that was really inspirational and kind of led us to what was possible, or it showed us what was possible as like a completely indie band without any support from any labels or anything like that. You could tour for months on end, you can put out records. And so, gravitating to what came out from the, Skank and Pickle crowd and Asian Man Records and all of that, that was very natural. I think at some point, not even at some point, really early on, we had the idea that if we were going to be in a band and we wanted to do something fresh and original, we couldn't make it an insular, only listening to ska music, because that was a good way to just, stagnate what we were doing. So I think we all wanted to bring in, various pieces from the non-ska world. I know, we were talking about Derek and Chris, and that's where a lot of that funk came from, because they were heavily into that, and that's one of the reasons why we didn't continue in that direction. When Bill and I started doing more stuff with the band, then we started going more toward that, punk and hardcore, because that's kind of what we were listening to at the time.
Of course, we like No Doubt too. I mean, Bill used to travel and see them. You guys were seeing them like in high school, right?
Yeah.
I probably discovered No Doubt like in my senior year of high school, when their first album.
Yeah, when I first moved to Orange County, they were playing free shows at Cal State Fullerton. And so my first show when I got to Orange County was No Doubt, 311, and Korn. And it was all free. And so this is like in 1992, I think, something like that. And so I was just
that was my sophomore year at Cal State Fullerton. I remember seeing them play in the quad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was that.
Yeah.
Richard and I ditched school to go see him play UCLA.
That's rad.
In the quad, there was all
I remember.
20 people there.
Mm-hmm. We ditched school to see them at Northridge too.
That's true. Yeah.
I saw Hepcat when I was in high school. I went to a show.
Those guys were always first class.
What, Hepcat? Yeah, I started because they were local too. So I was introduced to them in high school, and then I always enjoyed seeing Hepcat. They were a good band.
Yeah, good musicianship.
They're
great guys.
Yeah, and like Dave said, like great guys. Like they're just like they're just really like put together.
Yeah, and then I think even for a while we had the same practice nights for a while over at the rehearsal studio.
And awesome audio.
Like sometimes they would. we often had the same rehearsal nights. So it was always nice to see them. For me, like it's true. We did not listen. At least I did not listen to a lot of ska before getting into the band, and even while I was in the band, like while I listened to it, it wasn't my main listen, because
we listened to a lot of Jackson 5. I remember that.
Oh God!
And then
wait,
who was the one? Wait, what about Andre? Oh, sorry, I'm interrupting. Remember Andre?
No, it's okay.
Wait, what?
Andre Barcelona?
Yeah, he would travel with us, and he'd play like a lot of metal, or like, was that like a Dawkins song, like Rainbows in the Dark?
That's Dio, man.
Who was that?
That's Dio.
Oh, okay.
So
Sorry, I don't know all these things, but I just remember like random shit like that. But I remember listening to Jackson 5 all the time, weird metal shit. Like Bill was also obsessed with spoken word by Rollins. So.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, a lot of jazz, and I listened to a lot of jazz vocalists. That was like big for me too during that time.
But in terms of like playing, like we played with a lot of like really, really great bands. I remember the first time I played with the Skeletons, just being completely blown away.
Oh, I forgot about the Skeletons. Yeah, I've seen
like their level of musicianship, and Jonas's just kind
charisma.
of charisma, just undeniable charisma on stage.
He's a great frontman.
Yeah, he was really, really great. And and we played a lot of shows with RBF, right? And even in their earliest
real big. How can we not mention them?
They were like a three, like a three-piece.
We played with them all the time. What am I saying? That was like our first tours, right?
First tour.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
was Utah driving through the desert with the no air conditioning.
Exactly.
Oh
And
my
Matt
God.
and
Phoenix.
Matt had half the band in his well, I think he was driving a Honda at the time, and they were like
Yeah, I
sitting
haven't seen. Yeah,
on top of
I
each other's
love Matt. I haven't seen
laps,
him in years.
right?
Not
And then
long.
Yeah,
and
not long.
you know, and Suburban Rhythm, of course, was very inspiring for us because also really, really great level of musicianship and really good guys. I mean, obviously, we thought the world of them. We eventually brought Carlos into the band, right? And those guys were always like great, solid guys. Right? So we got to
Yeah.
play with a lot of like really great bands. We were always impressed by bands that we would see, like, like a Swim Herschel Swim, right? That did something that was different, right? In terms of incorporating ska music with other genres. Like that was always the most appealing thing to me. Like, from the complete craziness of like One Eye Open, right? To
Oh my God, I forgot about all these bands. One Eye Open.
One Eye Open were
God, blast from the
insane.
past. Was that Kevin? Did I make that up? Who was in
Yeah,
that?
Kevin. Yeah. So
Wow.
I mean, I could probably like just like make a whole laundry list of them, but what I always found inspiring was, watching all of those bands like take this music, which who knew that would be the music that would be able to fuse a bunch of different things together, and these bands that would explore different ways of putting all of that together. And it was good because the amount of musical vocabulary that you saw from all these different bands, like, it was just it was astounding. It was really astounding. And I don't, when I look back on it now as an older man, thinking about, wow, you have a bunch of crazy kids who have this kind of breadth of musicality and vocabulary, and who are putting together their own bands. I mean, that's just what a great moment in time.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Now,
Yeah.
I got another question. I'm sorry.
Oh man,
No,
go.
sorry, you going to say something?
Nope, go. It's all you, bud.
Okay. Yeah. What was the process of creating one of your songs? Like, how did you guys? Yeah.
Well, can I answer real quick? I mean, I'm not the first guitar player. I wasn't the Bill is. But
Mhm.
when we would work together, Dave would start out with something and like bring it to me and bring this like great idea, and then I would start on like my guitar part like over that. So like I think Dave like, well, I mean, I can't say for the band before I was in the band, because I know Bill um, wrote a lot of things as well. But when I got in the band, um, Dave would bring like these songs, and then so we would like put the song together, and then like Jenna would put her tip on it, and it would just kind of be like the cherry on the top, like
Richard's amazing horn lines.
Oh yeah, yo, yeah, yeah,
They
yeah.
were. They were tricky to play, but they were.
Those horn lines were crazy, to tell you, man. I loved it.
Harmony.
Really.
What I'll say is that in my view, it was always a very collaborative process, right? Because what would end up happening is people would have different ideas, right? And then we would work on that idea. It's a lot of, it's a lot of what musicians do. They play musically, right? They have fun with whatever little ideas that they have, and that's what we would end up doing. And then if something would catch on, then we'd say, okay, then we can convert this into a verse part, we can convert this into a chorus part, and then we all really enjoyed figuring out arrangement. That was something that was really, really important to us, right? Figuring out how do we play horn lines that don't sound like horn lines, right? How do we move a song that is ska but also has the ferocity of a hardcore track, right? And Jenna would then come in and she would write these amazing lyrics and melodies over them, right? that none of us would ever have, would have ever thought would have worked. But Jenna would figure out how to glue all that stuff together melodically, right? And I really do think that it was that weird collaboration between all of us that really amounted to the songwriting, right? Because it was never, it was never really ever the province of one person ever. It was always somebody's got this idea, somebody's got this idea, somebody's got this idea. Let's groove on it for a while, and then something would come of that. And then because all of us were so interested in arranging, right, we'd be able to come up with something that would work for us. And in my mind, that's how it all went.
100%.
I have a very different style than Bill, but I learned Bill's parts. I messed one up once when I was in a different ska band, and we used to cover one of our MealTicket songs, and he called me out on it, and I was like learning that I was actually doing like a major chord when it should have been like a minor chord, I think. And then if my memory, I think I have like an elephant memory, and
you're 100% tack on so far.
yeah, so he told me, so I kind of mucked that up, but my girlfriend like thinks that I mean, and we all think and we all know that Gemini has like the most iconic, like classic, like tone. What are you laughing at, girl?
It's
like,
you want to hear something? There was no auto tune then, so
no auto tune. That's right.
My
I mean, it was rough. It's not like we had a ton of money to like go over parts, like know. So I mean, sometimes listening to it is very painful.
No, my girlfriend will listen to MealTicket in the car on like Spotify, and she'll go like Jenna has like the most beautiful voice ever. And
I can't even. Oh, well, that's nice of her.
She's amazing. And so my Allison really likes your voice.
Oh, thank you. Tell her I said thanks. I think one of my favorite songs. I mean, I can't. It's very painful. If anyone plays it, I'm like, we'll murder you. You please turn it off. But one of my favorite songs is actually written by Dennis. It was that Better Half.
Yeah, Better Half was great. I love that
song. But that was like one of my favorite songs. I mean, I wrote the melody and lyrics for it, but he wrote that song, and I always like kind of I'm not even sure I like so much what I did with it, but I don't know. That was like always kind of my favorite to sing. I don't know why. Oh God.
Can't hear you.
Yeah, I used to love playing that song too. I always thought that was really interesting.
That's the one that we wrote in the studio, wasn't it?
I don't remember.
Because there was one song.
I think he played it on. I don't know if he wrote it on guitar piano, but I know he wrote it, and it was it was a little different from what we were normally what we were doing.
Because I remember there was a song. I came in because I was, my girlfriend lived around the corner from that studio at the time. And I came in and somebody handed me charts. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, what's a new song? We're going to play it right now. And I recorded it. I learned it in like 8 seconds and recorded it like literally reading charts. I'm pretty
sure. How ridiculous. We were a ska punk band that actually could read charts. How ridiculous is that?
Well, what was cool is Dennis's grandmother was a jazz drummer.
Yeah,
she was.
Sorry, I just threw that. Sorry, Dennis isn't here, but I'm just throwing that out. But well, yeah, because you guys were in jazz band. You're pros.
Yeah, that was going to be one of my questions if you guys knew sheet music, but you guys kind of answered that when you guys said yours in jazz.
I definitely do not.
I had to learn that first. And who wrote that part?
Is that supposed to be Bliss?
I think that was Bill.
What was that? Dude, it's not like I listen to the record every day anymore. I'm just trying to hear it through a little speaker in my garage.
Yeah. If it's Bliss, that was a Bill guitar riff.
I'll have nightmares that we get back together, all of us, and I don't know the lyrics, and I get on stage. Do you guys ever have those dreams?
That's right. You know how many times? You know how many times like bands now play with a screen on the floor with the lyrics?
Really?
Oh yeah.
Really? I haven't been to any of those shows.
They all do it.
No effects did that.
Wow.
They have a little screen near the
Does that
monitor
come with 8? I'm like, wow.
that will scroll up the lyrics, so that way they don't necessarily, mess up the lyrics. They have something to reference down there by the monitor.
You should
Does
also
it ever
know what
does it ever blow your minds that like we played all those songs and like every night without even thinking about it, you played those songs? Like, I mean, it's pretty mind blowing.
It
Yeah.
it is, and I think about it. We did it with very minimal monitors, right?
Do you remember, Dave? Do you remember when we used to do this thing on stage? Like, I had that long, like really long green cord, and you would get on your knee, and then I would like jump over you. But I would like hop on your knee and actually like physically jump over you. And I did that stupid thing that Jenny called the duck walk, because I used to do like a Chuck Berry thing. But yeah, that is like
Because we were having fun. We were like, what other ridiculous thing we could do? I remember Bill Bill throwing around his guitar, right?
Oh yeah.
Do you remember Stop it! Really? No.
Holy
Sorry.
shit.
Somebody called me.
Edit.
My girlfriend was calling me. Hi, baby. I'm not done yet. And then, yeah, I would like run across the stage, and like you would like get down on your knee, and I would like jump upon it, and then like yeah. And then, do you remember the van like catching on fire, like the inside the
It was like the heating coil.
Yeah, Richard knows it.
Oh yeah.
Well, I think the glove compartment caught fire.
Yeah, it was like
Yeah, it was a heating coil, and it came through the glove compartment. The entire glove compartment was on fire.
Yeah, we're like, what? And then like didn't we have like a little fire extinguisher or something?
No, dude, you went into the hotel, grabbed the fire extinguisher, sprayed down the glove box and Richard. It was great.
Sorry, Richard.
Yeah, that was the end of one of my
Was that MealTicket or was that Pushover? I don't remember that at all.
I don't remember if that was MealTicket or Pushover. It could have been
We were
Pushover.
in like
that had to be MealTicket.
No, wait. It had to have been MealTicket because it was the van.
It was a fart
Oh,
ass.
okay.
Yeah, it was the fart ass.
Hold on one second. Sorry, guys.
What is going on?
Not off the rails.
I'm at my temporary residence.
All right, so I'm gonna ask another question, guys. Here,
Okay.
Pork and Beans Records. I think Dave and Richard ran that thing, right?
I don't know if
Richard?
that'd be accurate.
I feel like it was Richard.
So you guys released
What do you mean?
Misconceptions and 13 Apologies on Pork and Beans.
I mean, running is a very generous word to describe it.
No, they retired young. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, I had a closet.
My Bill and I and Jim have had to work this whole time.
Look, here's the thing. When you're a DIY band, right, and there's no label supporting you, you learn how to do everything on your own. And this goes back to the legacy of Skanky Pickle and Mike Park, right? Because Mike would dole out knowledge to whoever wanted it, right? And so he would help, and so he helped us learn, how do you do a distribution one sheet? Oh, what do you need to do in terms of production? Things like that. And so as a result, we had to learn how to do that all on our own, right? So we just went ahead and did it. And because we knew how to do it, like other folks came to us to help put out their records. And it wasn't really a company, like nobody signed over their copyrights to us or anything like that at all. It was just, hey, we know how to do this, so let's just do this, and there's this kind of funny, I laugh about it a lot because I'll talk about like how, I would walk into some mall store, right? And there would be t-shirts that we silkscreen inside of somebody's garage, probably ours, right? And CDs that got picked up from either Bill's place or our place, right, by the UPS truck, right? And they were in stores, right? And running the record company at the time was really just a way of us saying, we learned how to do this. We got inspired by Mike. We've learned how to do this, so we're just going to do it on our own. And then when others came to us to ask us to do it for them, we just did.
Right. Given the chance, I would have loved to have released something by MealTicket. But you guys released Lucky Strike and Headboard, I believe,
Right.
on Pork and Beans besides you guys. But then when Janai left the band and you guys released the Lisa Marie album, but you guys released that on Asian Man. What was the difference in going to Asian Man with that?
Well, for me, it was really a matter of who could do it best, right? And we were not really having a lot of time to ourselves anymore to do that. Again, we were all moving through our lives at this point, right? So, we didn't have as much time in my mind, and it made sense to have Mike
who would say
do
no?
it.
Yeah, who would say no? Like,
Right.
to like,
Right. Nobody's gonna say no to Mike.
yeah. And if I'm not mistaken, were we gonna do a full length and then I quit? Were we gonna do a full length with
I
them?
think we were writing and thinking about the next full length, and that's kind of when
I should have stuck around, guys.
But there was a point where Jenny, I wrote a song, and I put this like really major like metal thing. I don't know what I was going through at the time, but they kept it on the track, and it starts off as Jenny saying, "Oh my God."
Oh yeah, that's on that. Yeah.
Yeah.
We did a cover. We did a cover. We did a Blondie cover on that.
Oh yeah,
we did a Blondie cover on that one.
Not
the Other Rock actually played it.
What was it called again?
Let's picture this.
Yeah, picture
this.
Got
Yeah,
it.
picture this. That was a cute cover though.
It was very cute.
Yeah,
it was fun.
Yep, there it is.
Terrible
Pork and
photo.
Beans, like,
Terrible
if it looked
photo.
like a record label, then I guess.
We don't really have a lot of great photos of us, you guys.
I don't think I have any photos of.
We were pretty.
Well, it's not like we had phones that had cameras on them. So
yeah, we did. That wasn't the time.
Are we segueing into what would we have done if we did have social media?
So Pushover, your two albums also went over, stayed with Asian Man, and Ricky started singing.
Yeah.
Right. So why didn't Dave sing?
We had a band meeting, and it was all of us. We were living in the valley, and we were trying to decide on band names, and we knew that. I mean, I don't know who said it. It wasn't me, but they said we're not going to do a Meal Ticket Part 2. We knew we had a Meal Ticket show coming up at the Troubadour, like a farewell show, and we knew that Jenny was going to say, this is not like the end of me. She actually, if I remember, like the video, she said, "This is not the end of Meal Ticket. These guys are going to be in a new
video."
band." There's a video, yeah. My friend has it, and she said, "This is not the end of Meal Ticket. These guys are going to get together, and they're going to be a new band called Pushover." And she like mentioned us in just like in the like best way, and so we didn't play any Pushover songs that night, but it was our fun show, and then we kept on going, and then we were like kind of like going over like names or whatever, and I'm not sure who came up with Pushover. I don't know if it was me or not, but Dave wrote like most of the songs actually. Like he wrote like most of the then Jim moved on to keyboard, and then Rich Rich learned how to play rhythm guitar, and then I stayed on lead guitar, and I moved to lead vocals, and so I was doing like the solos and stuff like that, and but everybody like stayed solid, like it was just like it was really good, and then at one point in Hollywood one day, like Dennis kind of just lost a little bit of passion. There was like a little bit of arguing. Like I can't say I'm not guilty, but like he's just like, I'm out of here. and then so
Drama.
it broke up, and then I moved back to Orange County, and then started bartending, and but then I went to college again. I got my degree, and then I started working for aerospace, and so that's where I'm at right now. So that's why I'm at Northrop Grumman now, putting people into space.
Are you gonna get our albums out in space, Ricky?
I'm gonna
Out
put
there,
them out.
MealTicket cassette into the
It's when I was at SpaceX, it's already there. So our DNA is already in space.
I have one last question for me. Do you have any pranks that you guys done when you guys were on tour? Any stories about that or any pranks?
Oh God.
Trying to think. I know that there were like weird, funny.
Oh, you're so
moments,
boring.
Like, there are some weird, funny moments, right? But like in terms of pranks on each other, we didn't really ever play pranks on each other.
No.
No, we didn't do that. We just had like funny. We just had funny moments and weird things happen. The weirder ones we're probably not going to mention on this.
Can you mention one of the weird ones? Can you mention one?
Dave and I used to. Never mind. No, I'm not going to do it. I'm not saying it, Dave.
Oh, which one? Oh,
No, I'm not, dude. I'm not doing it.
okay.
You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah, I know which one you're talking
But
about.
I'm not doing it.
Me and Bill are like, what are you talking about?
I've got a last question here because we got to wrap this up. Also, I know appreciate everybody's time here. My last question to you guys is: would you guys ever consider a reunion show with both guitarists playing at different times?
I would not mind playing with Bill.
Why not both guitarists at all the times?
I was just going to say. I was just going to say the same thing.
I would not.
Hey, what if
mind.
I start? What if I play guitar? What if I just play rhythm guitar?
Yeah, no, we're grown-ups, and so I would not mind at all to be on stage with this person. So, yeah, it would be a
Jenna,
pleasure.
would you sing again?
I am on a biologic injection every month for my asthma. I haven't tried to sing in a long time. I mean, I could do an inhaler once every 15 minutes. To be honest, like if it would be okay, what would be kind of fun is kind of reworking the songs a little bit too.
Oh yeah,
not having to like one, because I can say one thing for sure, and it's probably one of the reasons I left the band. Not that I didn't love the guys and loved doing it, but I just wasn't really passionate about the way I was singing, and I think that it was hard to sing over horns, let me tell you. And you have to sing in a certain style to do that. And I wanted, just I don't know, I think I grew tired of it. But yeah, I mean, I think it would be fun, to get I mean, I don't even know. I haven't sang in so long, but it would be fun to rework some songs and do some tune. I mean,
that would be
I've
cool
always,
because,
I've always said in my head, no way, like we're done. That was like the past. But I'm older now, and it does sound kind of fun, getting together. But if I could sing, I don't even know if I can sing anymore.
my friend Mike
work.
from
What?
Papa Roach.
Yeah, can you even play? Can you play trombone still, Kit?
I've tried, and I don't know how long my lip would hold up.
Oh, four guitars. Four guitars.
For four guitars, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have to find a drummer, apparently.
Two drummers?
Two drummers.
Wait, didn't Jimmy E. World do that with the producer? Oh, never mind, you guys. My memory's trash, but sometimes they'd have two drummers. It doesn't matter.
No,
drum machine.
If you wanted to like rework the songs, like I'm sure me and Bill could come up with something, and it would sound cool. And then I mean, I don't know where.
Yeah, and the other thing is, you have to remember, at the time that Jedi was singing, right? Think about what we had available to us. We didn't have in-ear monitors. Everything was based on stage volume, right? So she had to sing. I mean,
I'm not complaining, but I was also into so many other styles of.
No, but my point is that the style that you had to sing, right, was influenced by that, and technology's come such a long way where you actually would be able to sing differently because we don't have to do.
Or what we do
things
is
the same way before.
we just take the vocals from the albums and I just lip sync.
No.
Immediately, yeah,
Live performing is a completely
I'll
different
I'll
thing.
hire
Yeah.
someone to sing and
yeah. The truth of the matter,
I'll have backup tracks, right?
Richard's right though. The live performing now is so different. I mean, guys, I spend so much of my time like seeing, bands.
Yeah.
It as part of my as part of my work, and I know that the live performing is so different now. So
I still love seeing bands. I still love music, that's for sure.
yeah.
Maybe do a little dubstep version. I don't know.
All right, cool.
You guys are crazy.
You have me still
And we
playing?
didn't make your 50th, Daryl. I actually saw the Facebook Messenger, like, I don't even know, like months later.
I know. I tried to get you guys and the Hippos to do it, and the Hippos committed to it, and you guys sorted in, but I couldn't get everybody on board, and then it just fell apart, and I was just
My life was in peril at that time. It was not on my radar.
It's so funny. Danny Ruckerson and I had a couple conversations about it at the time, so it was very funny.
What if we do it for our 60th?
Well, I see Danny every year because he gets me Billie Eilish tickets, which is excellent. But that we connect with that, but we still talk about the Hippo stuff because they're re-releasing some of their stuff on vinyl and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What about MealTicket vinyl?
We only have like 7 inches, right? We have.
Yeah,
No, I'm talking about
we have
repressing
at least
the
one.
albums on vinyl.
Look at I'm part of a record store and I don't have any meal tickets.
Who
You're
even
bad.
has a master's?
I'm like $5.99 meal
You
ticket.
can master off the CDs now.
Yeah.
Right?
Hey, my question really quick for everybody. Who's got the recording of Do We Know It's Christmas Time?
Oh my God.
Did we do that song?
No, we did.
No, Pushover did. I don't know who that is.
I'm like, God,
Oh
my
my
memory
God.
is
You were there.
dead.
All right.
So nobody has that?
No,
I wish
don't
we
think
had like more scandalous stories for you. We were like a nice group of kids.
Let's just all go, Ricky. Let's just all go. Well, let's just all beat it to Cat and Fiddle. We'll just have like a reunion.
Oh gosh.
Actually, getting together with everybody at the Cat and Fiddle would be pretty fun.
That sounds great, actually.
I think we should all get together based off this night tonight. That'd be fun.
Yeah, it's nice seeing you guys because we have so much to talk about that is Daryl's not interested in either.
And we got to get Amanda in there too.
I know. Well, Amanda just remembers supposedly, I guess Dave was really her secret memory, but
No, Bill was.
oh, Bill. Well, no, Bill is stellar, but but Amanda's top notch. Like we could be anywhere in the country, and she'd know like what direction we were going.
We should do something besides this, and we should extend an invite to Dennis, see if he wants to do something besides.
Yeah.
Of course.
I mean, this was really fun. I really appreciate being able to see everybody.
Great.
Thanks a lot, Daryl.
This is so good seeing like Daryl. Like seriously, thank you so much for bringing us together. I mean, we would have done it, but I mean, like you made it happen. This is like really cool, and then it's really cool to actually reach out to Bill as well. And I hope he's doing well. I mean, we're talking right now.
Bill's killing it.
Yeah.
He's putting on he's making an extension on his bedroom. Like he's good. Like right. He's
My
extending his
bedroom
bedroom
next to the Van Nuys Airport.
There's gonna be a built-in jacuzzi in there, right?
That's
Heart-shaped.
that's what came out. That's exactly what got torn out. Actually, was
Really? The heart-shaped jacuzzi?
Not a heart shape, but a built-in.
Okay.
It's why I bought the house. I can admit.
This is cool.
But I'll send you guys all up to Mars when I get a chance.
Okay.
It's just gonna take me a little bit. So yeah.
I'm good. I'm good.
Well, I love you guys. You guys have always been one of my favorite bands, along with the Hippos, of course. Hopefully we'll see you guys in the future. Everything you guys are doing, hopefully that reunion show will actually come to fruition, which would be great. Here's some more MealTicket music redone.
See if you can get the Hippos again. They were a great band, great bunch of guys.
Yes.
Also from the Valley.
Were you guys were you guys talking about doing a house party?
We there was a place in the Valley, in San Fernando Valley, I forgot what it was called, that I approached, and I was going to book the place and wanted you guys and the Hippos to play, except Ariel didn't want it in a place. He wanted it in someone's house.
Like a
And I
house
don't think
party.
he wanted.
That sounds cool. Yeah,
He
that
didn't
sounds,
want the public there.
yeah, yeah.
This is
I don't need the pub.
yeah. He didn't want like more,
The
and I just
unwashed.
wanted friends and family to come in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
That's all
get
he
that.
wanted.
I get
Close
that.
friends.
It's a special thing, so I totally get why Arlo would want that.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And I mean, back in the day, you guys, I love booking you guys. You guys were one of my favorites of everything, and just all the time we spent together, different shows and all that stuff, friends. It was great. So hopefully, the future will
Yeah.
hold more of that.
Oh, I'm
for
gonna
us.
work on that. I'll work on the Jedi hologram. We're gonna get this going.
Work on.
All right, let's try to all get together at the Cat and Fiddle.
Last famous words.
We'll figure that
I'm
out.
like, see you in 10 years, guys.
Well, on behalf of Jose and myself, we appreciate you guys coming to the Ska History Hour and talking about Meal Ticket and a little bit about Pushover. And you guys, you're amazing. Thank you for your time. We'll talk to you guys soon.
Okay.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, guys. Take care.
Thank
Take
you,
care,
guys.
guys.
Love you guys. I love
Bye.
you all.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Like, how do I sign off?
What?
I don't want to leave. Okay, time.
Are we done? Is it over?
Go, Jim.
He's still
It's like
recording. He's still
peace.
recording.